Click the links to join the channel here over subscribe right now over at Odyssey. So Crunchyroll triggers the woke localizer anime experience by confirming the exploring the use of AI, which they're sure they're definitely going to do it. If you can save a buck and also save time and release things simultaneously, why wouldn't you do it? I don't know what they pay the localizers, but it's not just that. It's that you can release in all markets globally. I don't know how long it would take for an AI to go through this and then have a guy edit it just to make sure there's no egregious errors, but I mean, you're talking about a very short time period. So localizers replaced by AI, and they're not happy about this on social media. But when they go like, "Oh, you don't want an accurate translation," and people go, "But you're not getting an accurate translation now. You're getting this SJW inserting their own, whatever nonsense is popular." Oh, if you're one of those SJWs, please don't watch the video. So I feel like I'm turning into Nurkish, but without any of the talent, just kind of cynical about everything. Because, why are you watching cartoons? No, you don't understand. It's Japanese cartoons, so it's exotic, but it's still cartoons, right? I mean, it's all just bread and circuses to distract you from something more important. They grow the tall grass in many different ways, and part of those are pleasurable distractions, and the white pill for us is these what used to be fun distractions are getting so insanely woke that people are tuning out from them, and they're going to alt media and getting different sources of entertainment and starting to actually talk to people. We don't want a hierarchy of this big Hollywood, whether it's Japanese or not. It's still that concept of from the top down. Instead, we want a massively parallel communication network, which is what live streaming on Odyssey is really good at, because if it's a small stream, you get to talk to everyone, including the live streamer themselves. It's usually like 99% male. But if it's a big screen, you can't talk to him. You can talk to the people in the chat. It's a whole different experience where you're just sitting in front of a TV being brainwashed. And even if it's something kind of innocuous, well, the thing is, localizers is not innocuous, as we'll get into, because they're not taking the original story and leaving it alone. They're inserting their own whatever Marxist propaganda. But it's like you're just being programmed by whatever the Hollywood is trying to send you, whether it's movies or Disney streaming, or in this case Japanese or sometimes Korean. So anyway, the thing is, this is what AI is intended for. Some kind of smart translation program that can hopefully learn and get more accurate. Yeah, for sure. But for the art, not so much. The AI art is still horrific. And I was thinking, because I was playing with the early Gab AIs where it was like something out of another dimension of horror. It can still be weird now, but what if can you get an AI graphic engine to mimic the early horrific nightmare? It was like a DMT trip, kind of bizarre. I've been watching a lot of like drug trip experiences on YouTube, which is weird because I don't have plans to take any of that kind of stuff. But it's kind of interesting to see how they access different parts of the brain, or maybe different dimensions. Anyway, so the woke kids are outraged about having the localizers, eventually just get removed from the equation. But that's the march of technology. You can't stop progress. The thing is, they love to get between you and the thing you enjoy. That's why they're desperate to be in these nexus points, to be mods, to be in an area where they can be overrepresented in controlling a narrative, even if they could go do something else for more money, or even if they have to volunteer and be mods for free. It's like the Reddit thing. There's a post going around where someone says, like, have you noticed Reddit is kind of dead lately? Because it's just completely controlled by toxic left-wing bullshit. So it's an echo chamber, and echo chambers can get really boring. Anyway, so what a localizer does is a lot like what Google Gemini was doing, that came out in the news the other day. And Google, I think, took a hit of $90 billion because of mostly because of Elon Musk. He is just, man, he better be careful, because he's pushing a counter narrative against the most powerful people on Earth. So what they do is they translate, which is what they're supposed to do, and stop right there. But they don't, because they augment it with alt-left political propaganda, pushing gay, trans, anti-Christian if they can shoehorn it in. Sometimes anti-white stuff, but they really got to bend over backwards to fit that in there. Whatever soup du jour cancer is popular, they try to find a way to put it in there. And the thing is, the problem is with the Japanese translations, some of the things you're better off just using the Japanese words because they can't be translated for a word to word translation because there are no direct translations. You have to explain the concept and just use the Japanese word. So the thing is, they're supposed to take the Japanese source material and just stick closely to the origin. But these are, blue-haired college brainwashed bullshies and soy boys who just parrot whatever stupid thing their college professor told them, or if they didn't go to college, then it's just the equivalent is being in the echo chamber online, and they're terrified to ask questions and step out of the herd. Honestly, the past like 30 years of watching the left do this just become good little puppets and authoritarians and like what they go what back in the 90s used to be like question authority, question everything. You look at them now, it's like, oh no, that's a far right wing dog whistle. We need to be good little puppets and trust the media and government and the big farming community. Oh, that's weird. It's like you guys are it's like you come into the town and you discover everyone's, I don't know, brainwashed or on some kind of like the pod people replaced them or something. What a fantastic movie that was. The thing is, they don't give a darn about respecting the culture of the original Japanese source material, which, don't get me wrong, it's not my cup of tea or sake. What is that, warm beer? Because they're really into kids, but that is their culture. You just have to accept that the Japanese are a discrete group of people. They're different than you are. That's the way they do things. And you tell an SJW that different groups of people are different, and they lose their mind because in the bullshit worldview, people have to be fungible cogs in a machine. You can replace a Somali with a Japanese with an Irishman, and the whole civilization will function just perfectly. And they refuse to believe in differences for some reason. Anyway, the thing is, only SJWs think that everyone has to have the same values as their current bullshit ones that they didn't have 10 years ago, and they didn't have 20 years ago, and they definitely didn't have 30 years ago when they were still questioning authority. That's one of the things about globalists is, or the concept is, you destroy individual culture by mixing. It's as if it's this part of this big plan to destroy everything and rule over the low trust wasteland that. Anyway, if you're going to translate degeneracy, at least be accurate. And a really good example of how they just F everything in the A and give it monkeypox and AIDS is Rings of Power from Amazon. I guess that's coming back a year from now because they took a break for the Wu flu or something. You want to know, like, put your finger on the pulse of where the bullshies are, where the globalists are today. Go watch a couple episodes of Rings of Power, assuming you're familiar with the original stories and the movies. And you look at it and you're like, but this isn't Rings of Power. This is insane. Oh, Hugo Boss says what? To want the original source material, that's your argument. Yes, that's their argument because they're insane. Anyway, so what the soy boys do is they insert their own brand of degeneracy. One of the things that triggers them is the Japanese have several categories roughly for, I don't know what to call it because you have to use the Japanese words to explain it, but it's for men who dress as the opposite sex, where the American localizers ignore these categories because they don't fit within their worldview, and they just call everyone trans. But that's not what all of them are. Some of them are just cross-dressing for various reasons. Some of them are gay, some of them are straight, some of them are various things, and it can be, you can make fun of it, the Japanese can make fun of it in a different way that is just to the SJW. I mean, we make fun of it all the time, but to the SJWs, it's absolutely verboten to make fun of their protected categories. So they feel like they can make fun of you for some reason. No, you don't understand. We're marginalized and oppressed. Oh, that's cool, but I feel that we're marginalized and oppressed. And it's like, what do you say once you have an appeal to authority, right? So the other thing is Japanese are really into drawing kids in kind of a weird depiction. But it's not like they're going out and hurting kids. It's like it's a different part of the world. It's a different group of people. That is their culture. If you don't want to watch if you don't want to watch their stuff, just don't watch their stuff. Localizers are also into little kids, but they're actually in a dark, evil way because they're actually doing stuff to kids, and like the the acronyms. It's just a matter of time before that P gets tacked on there. No, no, no. We changed the name, and that's actually part of the slippery slope is when they change the name um, for something abhorrent, and they have moved the window to accepting people discussing it. And it's they just slipped it in there. It's absolutely friggin' bizarre that they have people have accepted all this. Vote harder next time. No, honestly, this is just like a hell on earth. This is nightmare fuel. I don't think you're gonna. I don't. Anyway, so the localizers are also into little kids, but the difference is it's only if it's in a gay relationship because straight relationships. The goal of the bullshit localizers is to destroy anything they touch. They're kind of like parasites that go from thing to thing, destroy the host, poison it, infect it, and then move on to something else, to another industry. It's like, what did they do to comic books? What did they do to anime? And to who was that? Who was the two girls like the video game, the big video game kerfluffle that happened in like 2014 or 2013 or something with Zoe Quinn, Anita Sarkeesian, and Gamergate, and it's like they go and they destroy stuff. And actually, the video game industry is having a little bit of a shakeup right now. Because woke fundamentally doesn't sell. It's like you can sell stuff on the old name recognition for a while, but eventually word gets out that it's like they made another woke movie. Oh, it's the Marvels or what's that Spider Woman movie that just came out, Madam Web. And my God, they're planning on doing another DC female led thing. You look at these people like, what's your thought process when you take these $100 million, $200 million properties, and you know that you're not going to turn a profit on them? I mean, these people are drinking the Kool-Aid. These are full out lizard people, and a lot of times it's just not their money, so they don't care. It's like the consequences of the company going bankrupt are not going to happen in their lifetime. So it's just like, well, we'll just move on to another company after that, and they will. It's BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard's money, so they don't care. So what they do is they change straight relationships to gay relationships, and they don't honor or respect the original Japanese vibe, the original culture, the storyline, because it has to fit into these blue-haired college weirdos' worldview. Anyway, so the point is, right now the translations are not accurate. So if the AI is going to make some mistakes, and it will, it's not there yet. But I mean, this is what AI could be very good for. Not, I mean, AI can draw some background scenes, but it's like it just makes too many mistakes. You really have to have. And the thing is, a lot of the AI, you look at it and like there's something subtly wrong, and kind of disturbing about it. Like there's something about AI. Like I think there could be some really good horror stories written about AI opening up some kind of portal into a demon dimension, and that's what's really coming through. I think there's something there. But AI can make mistakes, so you have like one master editor go through this kind of stuff. But the translators are purposely making mistakes now. They're inserting their own left-wing stupid stuff. I wish I could say a lot of hot words, but unfortunately I can't. So are the mistakes going to be improvement? Like the accidental computer errors, are they going to be an improvement over the woke SJW propaganda? Yeah, for sure. And as they put these tweets out, people are like, yeah, by all means, get rid of the localizers. We don't give, you're all toxic far left nut jobs. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to everyone over at SubScribeStar, the Odyssey membership, and I'll see you guys all next episode.